So my first trip was in April of 2013. It was a medical trip with Long Hollow Baptist Church. I was totally ill-equipped for the trip, and I just was watching a video and my heartstrings were tugged and thought, this is something that I really need to do. But I was completely naive on that first trip, from the minute that the plane landed and what my eyes were open to the entire week at Lundy at the medical clinic, seeing all generations of the Haitian people. And our leader kept getting a phone call to come to this on the side of Jeremy, downtown Jeremy, this old nightclub. And she was a little uneasy about it and apprehensive. And so finally she had gotten so many recommendations to go or requests to go. So she said, we're just gonna have to go. And most of the people that were on the trip with me had been several times. So this was my first, and I was still a little uneasy and nervous with the culture. And they seemed a little nervous, which made me even more nervous, because now I'm like, okay, they're worried, so I'm worried. So we went down in there, and as soon as we drove into these broken down walls, I saw all these orphans in torn, dirty, small clothes running up to the bus, just waving their hands, and the adults, and just smiling. And they were thin, but still full of spirit. I mean, it was that they were not lacking spirit. They were clearly hungry, very eager for snacks, but just as eager for hugs and laps. So I felt safe immediately. My fear turned into peace, and I was able to sit immediately with all the Haitian people. And when I first got off the bus, a little girl in a yellow shirt and blue shorts immediately reached up and chose me. And that was my girl for the rest of that day, who so happens to still be my adoptive Haitian daughter, Fabiola. So she chose me on that very first trip. And all throughout that day, Mona, who stood in the middle of the orphans and gave direction on what to do, she was very well poised, and the children respected her immensely. And thinking there's 75 children running around and there was absolutely no chaos. It just felt very peaceful and controlled. I was very impressed by that. So that was my first introduction to Emmanuel, and that was the favorite day of my trip. And I remember flying on the little plane back over to Port-au-Prince, and I was listening to the song Oceans, just sobbing and thinking, oh my gosh, he's real. So I think that, even though all the other stuff is just icing on the cake, but that one moment I thought, he's real. Mary, Phil, and Matt decided they were going to go in June, I believe it was, to the trip. And they went and just so happened to get in contact with that same group of orphans on their trip. So when she came back and shared, it was like, oh my gosh, I saw those same kids, because it was just a small portion of my trip, yet it was the one that haunted me when I got home that one day. So we have had the blessing of being able to take my husband and our 3 girls on 2 trips together as a family, and then my other daughters have also gone on their own. But to be able to experience that kind of spiritual realm that we don't necessarily get to experience here, because of the noise and the chaos, but there it's so relational and it's so alive and well. And to be able to experience that with my family, our faith has grown leaps and bounds. Our connection as a family, to be able to relate in that kind of depth, I think not very many families get to experience that. From the outside looking in, from the Facebook post of the Haiti news, and that is not how I see Haiti. So I see completely different from someone that has not been there before. So for my daughters to be able to see that same perspective that I have seen, that it's not evil, it's not destructive, it's not hopeless, it is alive and well, and God is moving there within, and there are men and women that are rising up and they're still declaring the gospel. And I'm not afraid for them. I'm sad because I miss them, but I know that Emmanuel is doing well, and they are thriving in their community, and they are being the arms and feet of Jesus there to the community and around, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to be a part of that. The one thing that I have had the opportunity and blessed to do is I love to sing and dance. So you would think something as silly as that, but it's a great way to connect, especially when you struggle with the language. But they love to dance and sing, and it was a cool way to relate to all the Haitian people, not just our Emmanuel family, because it comes to ease if they're nervous, and it kind of just brought us together. I remember after the hurricane, and the earthquake, I stood up on the newly built school after all that, and I remember like this emotion. It was quiet. I was by myself, and I looked over and watched everybody scatter in the church and in the medical clinic and in the back cooking with Mona and getting ready for the party. And I thought, only God could do more than we could immeasurably ask or think, because we were worried in the beginning, could we get a sponsor for 50 kids? And now we have all those kids sponsored, community children sponsored. We have a community church, we have a community clinic, we have a school for almost 500 kids, and it's just gone above and beyond what we could ever imagine. When it was destroyed, we thought, what are we gonna do? And God said, watch what I can do. And He made it better than it was to start. So it's been pretty cool to watch.